The Olympic champion is Ilya Molin. Those four phrases will be inscribed in the annals of sports history as of February 14, 2026. Ilya Malinin appears less like a weary athlete and more like a man who has at last regained his birthright as he stands in the middle of the Milano ice skating arena, surrounded by a snowstorm of plush toys and the thunderous clamor of a crowd that knows it has just witnessed a miracle. Today, he achieved more than simply a gold medal. The ancient laws of figure skating have been virtually rendered obsolete by the technical insanity, biological aggression, and mathematical dominance of his routine. 10 years of anticipation hung in the air in the arena when he took his starting spot for the men's free skate. He was the youthful star who was left off the Beijing squad 4 years ago. He was the Winter Games' undeniable major figure, music, today. The stadium was filled with the first chords of a song, The Lost Crown. All eyes were on his skates in the building. He didn't need to be flawless. He didn't need to be perfect. Ilya had to be him. And by doing this, he has achieved the unprecedented heights that the world and the Japan Times have been forecasting ever since he made the first quad axel landing. It's more than simply a 4-minute skate that earned him the gold medal around his neck. He received it as payment for each hour he spent bucking the rules of physics. Milan saw more than just a victor today. It recognized human potential in the future. This is the question that everyone is asking at Milan's media center tonight. What makes him so superior to everyone else? The solution is straightforward, and his competitors find it horrifying. It's the insurance of mathematics. Every leap in figure skating has a base value, which is the number of points you receive simply by trying the rotation. Ilya Malinin begins his program in the 100s, although top skaters like Yuma Kageyama of Japan begin a free skate with a planned technical foundation value in the 9s. Ilya Malinin leads by 20 points before he goes on the rink. We refer to this as the Malinin buffer. He is practically invincible because of this mathematical safety net. He has created a system where he can afford to make mistakes since his routine is so full of high V-value quadruples, including the quad axel, which is the most expensive component in the sport's history. Let's be honest about the 2026 math. Ilya Molin may have 1 or 2 falls. Additionally, he will still receive the gold medal if he completes the remaining requirements. For his competitors, this is a mental nightmare. In order to defeat Ilya, Kageyama or Adam Sayahimfa must be flawless and pray for a disastrous outcome for Ilya. However, the contest is already gone if Ilya is even 80% on. Even on his worst day, Ilya's floor is still higher than the ceiling of nearly every other skater. By transforming a subjective art form into a technological arms race in which he is the only player with a nuclear option, he has not only made the sport better, but also shattered the scoring system. Let's examine the specific factors that contribute to the insaneness of this 2026 Olympic routine. Ilya Molin was more than just a skater. He launched a fast-moving assault on the books of records. He accomplished 6 quadruple leaps in an Olympic final, including the one that no one else on the Earth can even try, making him the first person to do it. The quadruple axel. In the air, the quadruple axel rotates 4.5 times. Most medical professionals believed that the leap was physiologically impossible since it takes so much torque, vertical height, and severe snap, but Ilya disproved their assumptions. He threw himself into the rafters of the Milano arena, whirling at 340 revolutions per minute. That speed is equivalent to a high-speed ceiling fan. However, the location of the 2026 routine makes it a nightmare for his opponents. In the second part of the show, Milan is now nailing his hardest combinations. Because the legs are meant to be dead in figure skating, music, each leap that is executed after the halfway point receives a 10% bonus. At the 4-minute point, most skaters find it difficult to execute a basic triple leap. Ilya Molin's pulse rate was approaching 190 beats per minute when he executed a quad lutz triple toe combo. He is achieving unprecedented levels of athletic performance by utilizing his core strength to sustain rotation speed, even while his muscles fill with lactic acid, as reported by the Japan Times in the lead-up to today. He is climbing, not just leaping. But if you want to know what really made everyone in Milan go crazy, it was the quintuple leap discussion. Is it even possible to leap 5 rotations? The response was a loud no for decades. However, Ilya Molin has elevated the impossibility to a genuine debate issue in 2026. Rumor had it that Ilya had previously nailed a quintuple salchow in training at his base in Virginia in the weeks before the Games. The quintuple's presence in his arsenal has altered the psychological climate of the sport, even if he decided to play it safe for the Olympic gold, using the quad axle as his main weapon. Ilya has the distinctive pencil-thin body and the crazy rotation snap needed to perhaps add that extra 360 degrees music spin, as Vogue SG pointed out. The quintuple leap is the specter that haunts the Milano arena, even if it isn't thrown today. Yuma Kagayama and Shoma Uno gaze at the scoreboard in such bewilderment because of it. Ilya already lives in a world with 5 revolutions, but they are competing in a world with 4. We are now debating whether a human being can spin 5 times and make it through the landing, since he has stretched the boundaries of physics to that point. Regardless of whether he wins it now or in a few years, Ilya has already managed to make the rest of the world seem to be at a standstill. The essence of the 2026 music Molin is lost if you merely discuss the quads. Ilya Molin has completely changed from a jumping machine to a worldwide fashion and cultural star, as Vogue SG just demonstrated in a breathtaking spread. He received criticism as a teenager for being too robotic, too mechanical, and lacked the emotional nuance of Yuzuru Hanyu and other legends. That critique died in Milan. In an outfit that seemed to belong on a Parisian runway, Ilya skated his gold medal routine. Edgy, sleek, and coated in thousands of black crystals that gleamed like stars under the stadium lights. For the first time in decades, he has brought a swagger to the rink. For a generation of fans who want to witness athleticism at its most extreme, he is making figure skating hip. He has created hallmark movements that are only for the sake of controlling the space and have no technical value. Take a look at his twisting raspberry, an aerial rotation that is horizontal and appears to be from the Matrix. It's a complete flex. He is telling the judges that he has so much energy left over to show off, since he is so adept at the difficult things. He has brought the human and the divine into equilibrium. He possesses the demeanor of a rock star, but the technical prowess of a machine. He's winning the culture, not just the medals. Music, for those who do not even follow the sport, he is the first figure skater in a generation to become well known. The last crucial component of the Ilya Malinin puzzle is this victory. The figure skating community was taken aback 4 years ago when a teenage Malinin was left off the Beijing squad in favor of more seasoned veterans, despite her impressive leaps at the U.S. Championships. He was driven by his anguish for 1,460 days. He was ultimately redeemed in 2026, serving as the anchor for a team that featured veterans like Madison Chalk and Evan Bates. He guided Team USA to a gold medal in the team event earlier this week. However, music was about his own legacy today, February 13th. He completed the Grand Slam of figure skating by taking home the gold in the men's singles competition. He now has the World Championship, the Olympic title, and the Grand Prix final title all at once. He is now more technically proficient than Nathan Chen. He has successfully conveyed Yuzuru Hanyu's charm. The greatest legends that came before him have been elevated to a level of difficulty that they could not have predicted by him. When his results were revealed, the ice skating stadium in Milan saw an atmosphere that had never been witnessed in the sport before. It was more than simply a victory party. A new age was being celebrated. The days of elegant skating are long gone from us. The time of Ilya Malinin is upon us. For Ilya Molin, winning a gold medal is not the only measure of success. Realizing that he has altered the laws of gravity is the measure of success. He demonstrated to the world that the phrase impossible is only used by those who haven't done the arithmetic yet. He demonstrated to us that it is possible to be a god on the ice and still be a person who can grin at the audience. He demonstrated to us that there is no limit to the human spirit. Only its heights have increased. The outcome would always be the same whether he skated a clean program or persevered through a mishap. The other skaters in the locker room aren't the competition when you're performing at Ilya Malinin's level. Physics itself is the competition. And physics ultimately lost today in Milan. The Olympic champion is Ilya Malinin. The quad god is crowned. Additionally, figure skating will never be the same.